Are we live? All right, looks like we're live. So today I'm going to be doing a workout that's a combination of upper body and lower body, so a little bit of everything. This will be an at-home workout you can do without a lot of equipment. We're mostly just going to need some dumbbells. So if you want to do the workout with me, this is going to be focusing on building muscle. I encourage you to get started. If you haven't worked out or if you've been working out, this is a great thing to do. I really want to encourage you to work out to maintain that muscle health. So we're going to start by warming up. I'm going to start by warming up my legs. I like to start with legs because I find it's the hardest thing, so we get that out of the way first. Not that it's hard, it's just more, I'd rather get that high heart rate thing out first. So I'm going to start by warming up for lunges. For a lunge, what I'm going to do is have my feet about shoulder width apart. And then from here, I'm going to step forward and kneel down and then back up. So I'm just doing these with body weight for a warm up. And then I'll grab some dumbbells after doing about 10 of these each leg. So this just gets blood flowing into the muscle and joints. So I'm not going in cold. If you go in cold, it increases the risk of injury and possibly something tearing, not being ready to hold that weight. And we don't want that. That's the biggest way that I could slow down progress, is by getting injured. So that's why we start with a warm up. And I like the same movement we're using as a warm up, just in a lower intensity version. There are a lot of different ways to warm up. Some people like to do a little bit of light cardio, and that's okay for a general warm up, but we might not be getting the joints as ready for the particular movement we're doing. So that's why I like doing a warm up that's more suited to the specific exercise that we're doing. Now in this one, I'm really trying to drive forward. I found this lunge exercise really hits these quad muscles right here in the front of the thigh more than squats does for me. And I want to emphasize those quads. That's why I'm doing lunges specifically. So I'm going to do these exercises in pairs. I like pairs because it lets me work out faster, doing what's called a superset. So the pair we're going to be doing for that is the dumbbell bridge. For these glute muscles back here, they work a little bit in the lunge, but it's more quad dominant. A bridge is more hip dominant. So for a bridge, I'm just gonna grab a light dumbbell. I will do a heavier dumbbell later. But warming up, start with a light dumbbell, right on the front of my hips, holding onto it so it doesn't roll. And then leaning back, feet about shoulder width apart. And then knees apart at shoulder width. Don't let the knees buckle in, keep them apart. From here, you're gonna push up, bridging those hips towards the ceiling, squeezing your glutes together. You should feel that right back here in the back of your hips. Careful to not let that dumbbell roll and hit you in the chin. This way you just have your hands here stabilizing that dumbbell. Trying to go all the way back to the ground and then back up. That lets those muscles lengthen, and that's more productive. Uh-oh, did we lose the stream? An error occurred. Let me know if you guys can still see me. Huh. It says an error occurred in the stream. Hold please, bear with me. Okay, it looks like we're back. So hopefully that doesn't break up again. Let me know if I have missed connection. I'll try and be watching the chat pretty closely. So now we've warmed up the legs, so we're gonna go into what's called a working set. This is where we're trying to push your body. And this is where we're actually gonna be building strength and muscle. So for this, we want to pick up a dumbbell that is challenging. So when I say challenging, I mean it should be challenging to get +5 reps. If it's challenging on the very first rep, it's probably too heavy. So pick one where you feel like you can control the movement on the first rep, but as you go, it gets tiring quickly. So for this, I'm holding about 20 pounds in each hand, and I'm going to step forward, bend my knee, kneeling down, and back up. Let me just show you from a quick side view. So for this, stepping forward, kneeling down, and then back up. All right, and I'm going to try and do at least 5 of these. I'm aiming for closer to 10 reps of this though. So kneeling down and back up. Really driving forward with that leg. And that's 2. So once each side is a rep. So this is 3 and 3. Just letting my arms hang to my sides. This is not an arm exercise. 4 and 4. Should start to feel a little bit of a burn now. 5 and 5. Try and step out the same distance on both sides. 6 and 6. Keeping the knee in line with the toe. So don't let your knee buckle in or out. Feel that really burning in my quads. I'm gonna try for 2 more. I wanna go to where the muscle is feeling tired, but not completely fatigued. And relax. So that was the first set of lunges. I'm gonna be trying for multiple sets of lunges. If you feel like 1 was all you could handle, that is okay. What I would do is try and find another day or 2 in the week where you can do another set. As you build up more tolerance, or as you build up more muscle endurance, you can try doing 2 sets, maybe once or twice a week. And as you go, the more sets you can do in a week, the faster that muscle can grow. Maybe up to 20 sets in a week, maybe more even. Still being researched on that one. But I find 1 set is a good place to start, especially if you haven't been working out. Try it, see how you feel the next day. Then come back the day after, try another set. See how fast your body recovers. And that way you can sort of learn where your limits are. And then you can start to push those limits up a little bit. So now we're going to do a hip bridge. So setting a dumbbell right at the front of your waist and bending your knees about shoulder width apart, knees apart at shoulder width, feet apart at shoulder width, pushing down through your heels, bridging your hips up to the front. We're working those glutes. And make sure, grab onto that weight so it doesn't roll away on you. You want that weight right over the top of your hips. Keep those knees apart. That helps with that glute activation. I'm going until I feel that muscle fatiguing. Should start slowing down as I push up. It's a very large muscle so it can handle a lot of weight on the dumbbell and probably a lot of reps too. And last one. Whew, those last few muscles start to really slow down, and that's a sign that you're getting close to that muscle fatigue point. That's good. Start slowing down. The muscle has been used up where it doesn't have a whole lot of extra muscle fibers or muscle cells to move. So that's why it slows down. So now going into a second set of lunges. So I'm going to stand up, switch out my dumbbells. And I'm going to show this from the side view on this one. So from here, you're going to step forward, kneeling down, and back up. Trying to step about the same distance on both sides. So I'm really trying to bend the knee as much as possible to emphasize that quad, the muscle on the front of your thigh. Most of my weight is on my front leg. My back leg is just there for balance. This is a good cardio workout too. As I'm going, I can feel my heart rate really pounding. That's why I like to get these out of the way first. Two more. Last one. Oh, and relax. So on those, the exact rep count is not as important, but the big thing is I want to make sure I'm keeping form where I'm not letting that knee buckle in, because that can hurt my knee, and I'm going until this muscle feels tired. So sometimes that's going to be 8 reps or 9 or 10. Sometimes as I go, I get more fatigued. Might be 8, 7, or 6. So just going until you feel that muscle fatigue. That's the right number for you. I used to do the lunges a lot more. What we do in martial arts is actually start one side of the studio and do lunges down and then lunges back. And then sometimes we would do lunges with kicks. So you do a lunge down, come up and kick. So that was a lot of work on those quads. Trying to build back that strength. So now what we're gonna do is hip bridge for the glutes. This is set number 2. I'm trying for 3 sets today, so I feel like that's what my legs can handle. As I go, my goal is to try and get up to 5 sets, but that's gonna be over a period of months to get to that point. So for a day, we're aiming for 3 sets for legs. So pushing through your hips, pushing the weight up to the front, then all the way back down. Really squeezing those glutes as you go up. Just feel this in the back of your hips. If you feel it in the back of your thigh, try bend your knee a little bit more to emphasize more of that glute. So if you're out here, it's going to be more hamstring oriented. Closer, it's more glutes. Hamstrings are the muscle that run along the back of your thigh. They start from your hips and go down to the back of your knee. Two more, 11 and 12. And relax. I like that one especially because I can feel it in the upper fibers of those glutes as I push up. So, whew, it is warm. So if you have any questions, let me know in chat. Whole thing with this is I want to help people get active and work doing resistance training to strengthen their muscles and bones. And I think that's so beneficial. I want to encourage you to make that part of your day. And if you are worried about being imperfect or sweating or looking bad, hey, don't worry, none of us are perfect. I'm here, I'm red in the face, I'm sweating, and that's normal. That's normal for working out. It's normal to be breathing heavy. So I just want to encourage you, even if you don't feel like you're perfect, start today, because this is the best day to start. The faster you start, the faster you can get to where you want to go. So, going back for third set of the lunges. Now, if you're tired out, feel like you can't do a third set, go ahead, take a moment, catch your breath, grab a drink of water, and then join us on the next exercise. If you ever hit a point where you feel like it's too much, that's okay. Don't push yourself into a place where you're not comfortable yet. Just start with what you can handle, figure out where that limit is, and then over time you can slowly build on that limit. A lot of people start out too intense, where they work really hard, and I feel for those people because they're trying so hard, but they're going so hard that they wake up the next morning, they feel terrible, and then why would they ever go back to working out again? Because they push themselves so hard they realize this is not sustainable, which they're right, it's not. So I think it's better to set a reasonable goal that you can stick to rather than a big goal that you can't. One more. And, oh, okay. I always think it's better to start small and then quickly grow, then start big and slowly grow, or even have to quit. So that's why I say it's okay. It's okay to start with one set and see what you can handle. It's your first time working out, start with one set and then see how you can do with 2 sets. And maybe you can handle 2 sets, so you go to 3 sets until you find that point. You'll find that point where that was too much, and then you can dial it back to the number you can handle. That's how I would start. Start slow so you can eventually go fast. All right. You know, for me, I would start fast. I would go too quickly. I actually ended up injuring myself doing that. I tore a bone in my knee because I was putting so much stress on it. It actually damaged my knee. So I had something called Osgood-Schlatter's disease, which is just a tear in the bone of the knee. That was because I went too fast, too quickly. So it's better start slow, build up over time. And that way you can figure out what you can manage and what you can't. And also, it helps you build up at your capacity. So, all right, one more set for this one, and then I'm going to switch to some upper body exercise. Pushing up through your hips, bridging up, all the way back down. The other thing starting slow does is it lets you learn good form. Because if you're lifting at a manageable level, you don't have to have all these auxiliary movements where other muscles get involved, where we're not really targeting the muscle we want anymore. Three more. 2 more. 1 more. And relax. Oh, my legs are burning. See that a lot where people start heavy and then they go heavier and they have all sorts of weird movements as they're doing an exercise that are eventually grinding away at their shoulder, and where they're not controlling the movement. And then down the road, I hear the stories of, oh, my shoulder hurts, I did this, I tweaked it, I had to stop, and then they quit because it hurts, because they never took the time to develop that foundation of starting slow and then building fast. All right. So we are done with legs, so now we're gonna move to upper body. So for this one, I'm gonna use a bench, but you could also do this, if you don't have a bench, you could do this laying down on a bed or laying on the ground. What you're gonna do, we're gonna do a pressing exercise using dumbbells. So this is great for the chest and the triceps and some of the anterior deltoid, which is the muscle in the front of the shoulder. So for this, your hands are gonna be right over the top of your shoulders. You're gonna bend your elbow down. Now if you're laying on the ground, go as low as you can, trying to bring your elbows out to the sides and then back up. If you have a bench, go down to where you touch the dumbbells to the inside of your chest and then push back up. Just feel this in your chest and the back of your arms. So up, doing as many as you can with good form. Tapping those dumbbells to your chest. You might feel this in the back of your elbow or in the front of your chest, maybe even at your breastplate bone. And both those are fine, trying to feel it in those two places. Keeping my hands right over the top of my shoulders, so I'm not letting them buckle in together. 2 more. Pushing my chest out as I do this. And relax. Gonna set these down for just a minute and move the bench out of the way. So now we just worked the chest and the back of the arm. Now we're gonna work the back and the front of the arm. So the bicep, the lats, and the rhomboids and traps in the back. So for this, we're gonna do a standing, not standing row, but a leaning forward row. So you're going to bend your knees, almost touching the ground. You can even set the dumbbells down like this. So you want to keep your back straight by pushing your hips to the back, really hinging at the waist. So you can see in the mirror how my back stays straight. So I'm holding here by pushing my hips back, pulling up to the rib cage and then back. Okay? So if you feel like your low back hurts doing that, you can always do this one arm at a time against a wall or a post, holding like this instead. So using this hand for support, but if you feel comfortable with your low back, pushing your hips out to the back will also strengthen those low back muscles isometrically, so for support, where you build that tolerance up. But if you feel limited by your low back, just try one arm at a time, and that's okay. I'm gonna do 2 at once. Going here, hinging at the hip, letting my arm fully hang, pulling up to my rib cage. So I'm not pulling to the front of the shoulder, I'm pulling to my ribs. And one more. And relax. I'm gonna take a second, let my heart rate drop back down, and grab a sip of water. Now as you go, it's okay to take a minute between sets. Let your heart rate come back down if you feel tired. That is okay to do. If you're pressed for time, you can just go set to set. That's okay to do. You might not quite grow, you might be limited by your heart rate more than your muscle, but that is still an okay workout, especially if you want to try and compress that time. But today, I'm gonna take a minute between, and for upper body, I'm trying for more sets so that I grow faster. Because I think I could do 4 sets today. So 3 for legs, 4 for upper body. Because I think my upper body can handle more. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I think that it recovers fast enough where I can get that 4th one in and still be ready to go again on Monday. All right, I'm just gonna slide the dumbbells over just to get the bench in position. I really should have racked my dumbbells. Let me see. Make sure I'm in front of the camera. Yep. All right, I'm gonna grab this other one and going back to bench press for chest. So I like to set the dumbbells on my knees and then rock back so that the dumbbells just push into position over the top of my shoulders. And then from here, bending your elbows, tapping the inside of the dumbbell to your chest, and then back out straight. Now, I don't lock out at the top where my elbow is completely straight. I try and keep tension on the muscle the whole time. I'm going down as low as I can, but going up, I don't need to go all the way up to locked. So the more important part of this movement is this bottom part down here. 2 more. 1 more. And last one. And relax. Let's set these out of the way for just a second. Coming right back to him. That was set number 2. Now, the more important part than how many reps I do is, number 1, how intense was it for me? Or how close to my limit it was? And how many times did I do that in the workout? So for me, I'm trying to aim 1 or 2 away from my limit. So if I can do at the absolute most 12, I'm trying to shoot for 10 or 11 reps. So up and down 11 times. Same thing. And now the number of sets I do is how many times do I get to that 10 or 11 in a workout. And for that, I'm trying to do 4 today. Now you might be able to do 2, you might be able to do 5 sets where you're getting to that point. And if you've been doing this a while, more likely you can hit that 5 sets in a workout. That is okay. If you can do that, that's great. If you can't do that, don't worry about it. Try and do that after a couple weeks of doing 1 set. Try doing 2 sets and see how it feels. So I do say if you're just starting your first week, try doing 1 set of each of these exercises. Try it and see how you feel. If you feel really good, then try 2 sets. Maybe and on the second week. If you feel like, man, 1 is enough for me, give it another week and try again the next week. So on the 3rd week. And that's how I would slowly build up sets over time. So, go into rows now for set number 2. So hinging at the waist, keeping that back flat, hands hanging straight down to the ground, pulling up to your rib cage, and then back down. Doing as many reps as you can. One more. And 12. Like I said, the number of reps is not as important as how many it takes for the muscle to fatigue. I'm gonna go ahead and re-rack these. So that was set number 2. I have 2 more sets left to go. If you're just joining us, we're supersetting chest and back, which means, well, we're working one side of the muscle, the other side is recovering, and then when we're working that side, the chest is recovering. So when we're working back, the chest is recovering. So if you like these sort of workouts and want to see more, I host a workout every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, where we can all encourage one another to keep on going. And if you see me sweating here, hopefully that helps you feel more comfortable sweating in the gym too. All of us, when we're working hard, you're gonna be red in the face, you're gonna be sweating, and that's okay. That's what we're here for. We're all here to work, to get stronger together. So if I can help encourage you to get stronger, to live a happy, healthy life, we'd love to have you back here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to work out with me. So I see so many people who are living with pain or living overweight or not strong. And I just want to encourage people, you can live differently. It's not actually as complicated as people make it out to be. The important thing is just starting. The hardest thing is just starting. Once you get past that, it actually gets easier as you go. You become this more familiar, you realize what you can handle. And that's why I want to encourage you, just if you haven't started, I would start today. Don't wait till tomorrow. There's always going to be tomorrow, but we only have today. I know that sounds like a cliche, but really it's so easy for people to say, oh, it's Monday, I'll start working out on Tuesday, or it's, oh, Friday, I'll start working out on Saturday. And then Saturday, they say the same thing. So I'd encourage you, start today. Start with some resistance training. It doesn't have to be anything really intense. Just start with something. Even if you have, a 1 pound dumbbell start there. And then the next time that was easy, try a 2 pound or a 3 pound. And then you can build up over time till you find where that challenging level is. So for me, I started with 1 set and then built up over time to be able to handle 2 or 3 sets. Now I'm at the point where I'm pushing for 4 sets because I know I can handle 3. So now I'm trying to get to the point where I can do 4. My goal is though to eventually get up to where I'm doing 5 sets in one workout. I'm not quite there yet with my upper body and definitely not on my lower body, but I'm working slowly, building it up over time. One more. This is set number 3. Oh, definitely feeling more tired as I go. Now, if you get to a point where you have pain or anything like that, then, where it's like a stinging pain in your shoulder or anything, I would try to either drop the weight or just stop there. That can be a sign that you're pushing your body a little bit too hard, too fast. So just go to where you're feeling tired, but not hurt. That's the most important thing, is we want to just fatigue the muscle, not overwhelm it to where it injures. I definitely found training in martial arts, I would pull hamstrings, I would not give my body the recovery it needed. So it's good to push hard and then stop and rest. After you finish your workout, don't feel like you have to keep pushing every day, pushing so much where you can't actually heal. Take a day off and then come back stronger the next time. So from here, going set number 3, hinging at your waist. So keeping that back flat, we're gonna let the dumbbells hang to the ground, pulling up to the back, up to your rib cage. So this is working the muscles in your upper back and shoulders, along with some in the front of your arm in those biceps. 10, I'm gonna go for 12, 11, and 12. And relax. Heart is definitely going. So we're gonna be stopping. Should be able to get all this done in under an hour. So I'm just gonna take a minute. We're right at about 15 minutes, I think, or 40 minutes or so. So taking a minute, especially in these later sets, catch your breath. It's always hardest at the end to have good technique, to have good form as we're lifting. So I take a little more time at the end between sets to make sure I keep that good form, or I'm not grinding my shoulders trying to finish the last set. So if you're just joining us, we're finishing up with upper body. We're doing a superset for the chest and the back. Working in bench press and in a standing bent over row. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these back on the rack and grab a bench. Now, if you don't have a bench press, you can do this laying down in a bed or on the ground. Those work just fine too. The only thing you need for this, for sure, is a set of weights. So laying on your back, hands right over the top of your shoulders, pushing up to the front. Now from here, Gonna just bend your elbows, drop the weights down to your chest, and then back up. If you're on the ground, try and have your hands come a little wider. That'll give you that range to be able to do this chest exercise. Now, if you feel a little bit uncomfortable at your shoulder, try bringing your elbows a little bit down towards your rib cage, where your thumbs are kind of pointed at your face. That'll make it so it's a little less stress on your shoulder. One more. And relax. Just about done. If you've been with me through this, good for you. You're doing well. Or if you've pushed yourself to where you feel tired, your body is feeling like you got a good workout, that's awesome. Good job, guys. Just taking a minute, because my heart rate's pretty high, so letting it come back down. As it's a warm in here and it's kind of humid, so it takes a lot more out of me to do that. Sometimes you will have days where it's harder to do the same workout. That's normal, it can happen. It can be how you slept, how you ate, how much stress you had at your job that day. All those add up and take a toll on your body. So just because you did one weight one day, don't feel bad if you can't hit that the next time. Just to go to what your body can handle. That's why it's important to not get tied up in how many reps are you doing. You want to go to where your body, you feel that fatigue in the muscle. Sometimes that's more, sometimes that's less. But you want to go to where you feel that fatigue, and that's where you stop. The way I put it is, if you had a bear chasing you, you want to go to 1 or 2 underneath that limit. So if you're like, oh man, if a bear was chasing me and I had to do 12 to get away, I could. Then if that's the case, try for 10 or 11. So bending at the waist, letting the arms hang, keeping your back straight, pulling up to your rib cage. 1, 2, 3, 4, going all the way out straight. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't think I'm gonna get to 12. I'm gonna go for 11 and stop there. Oh, all right. So, good job everyone for getting to the end of the workout. We got all the muscles in our upper body, all the major muscles of our lower body, doing two sets of exercises. So if you like these sort of workouts and want to see more, I host these live streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. So hope to see you guys there, and have a great weekend.